Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We have a new setup, so hoping that the audio is going well. Looks like the video looks better than previously, so that's good. Well, I'm really excited to bring everybody in today. We have a lot to discuss about the channel and some things coming, and I'm excited to share that with you all today. So I did want to give an update on the range update. I believe this has been rolled out across the fleet now for all Model Ys. So hopefully you guys are all seeing some extended range in your Tesla Model Ys. So I do have an update on our numbers. We did a video after we did the update, and we got 7 additional miles of range. And of course, that's on the estimated range on the car. Now, as of this week, yes, bud. I don't see a missing wheel. Sorry about that. So we had 7 miles of additional range that originally popped up. And as of last week, that actually increased to 10 miles. So we actually got the full 10 miles of additional range per Tesla's update. So that's really exciting. I don't know if you guys keep track of your 100% range estimate frequently, but we do just about every day. And it drives me crazy. But we now have 10 additional miles. So we're now at 293 miles at 100%. Well, did you check your bed? Yeah. Did you ask Mama? Yeah, but why don't you go check in your bed, okay? Sorry. All right. So we've got some distractions this evening. Apologize about that. We might, if he comes back, I'll let you guys say hello because I think he's a little anxious to meet all of you. Anyways, so for those of you that everybody should have that update now. So check to make sure that you got additional range. I know some people said that it still shows the same range, but hopefully that has updated since. And we did just finish a short road trip this last weekend. We shared that on our community page. So I know a lot of you saw that. We took a nice little trip and visited a farm in Kentucky, and it was a lot of fun. The boys got to see some animals and had so much fun. And we ended up going to the Ark in north of Lexington, Kentucky. So if you're familiar with what that is, it was pretty incredible. It was kind of pricey, but it was very impressive. So if you haven't heard of that, you might check it out. Just Google the Ark. It's pretty cool destination to check out. I would recommend waiting till it's warm again because there's a lot of outdoor activities, including a zoo that's on site, which is pretty cool. And you can pet kangaroos and stuff like that. So lots of fun. And yeah, so I'll be sharing some details on where we stayed because they had a destination charger. It was a version 3 destination charger, which was really cool. And that was included in staying at the place. It was a 1930s farmhouse and so much fun. So we'll be sharing more details on that soon. So you guys can check that out. So that's enough about the increase. I did want to share probably the biggest news. We have a membership for the channel that you're free to join or not join. It doesn't matter either way. But for those that want more intimate or more frequent updates, our members already know this news. But we did order a Cybertruck as of this weekend. So kind of some big news for the channel. We've been going back and forth on Tesla Model X and all these other things that we're considering, and the Tesla Model Y is going nowhere. We love this car, but the lease on the other vehicle will be it will be up right at April of 2022. So timing could, if we're lucky, timing could be really good. Or it could be really bad because there's like 700,000 pre-orders for that thing. So we'll see where we end up in the queue. But after constant discussions about this Cybertruck, my wife and I came to the conclusion that that's what we want to get. I've been pretty clear on my thoughts on the Cybertruck. I still think it's ugly, and it is ugly. Certainly from the side. The front, I think it looks okay, and the back, I think it looks okay. But from the side, it is not an attractive car in my taste. But on paper, there's nothing like it. And Tesla has the history to be able to demonstrate that they can deliver on those specs. So I have no reason to doubt the specs. And for those of you wondering which trim we bought, we went all out. We bought the whole gambit. So we went with the 500-mile range tri-motor option, and with the update with full self-driving going to $10,000, we decided to go ahead and place the order with full self-driving, and we will make some final decisions on whether we're going to keep that or not when it comes closer to time to take delivery. So I'm excited. There's a lot coming. We had a truck previously and did a lot of truck stuff with our truck. We loved having a truck. Recent trucks, if you haven't been in one in a long time, they're huge. And the Cybertruck's going to fit 6 comfortably. And looking at the configuration, we could fit 6 in our last pickup truck very comfortably as well. So I have no doubt it'll be very comfortable. And it's almost to the point where you say this is kind of like an SUV, especially with the lockable vault in the back. So we're really excited. The road trips that we take, I can only imagine what having 500 miles of range is going to be like, because our favorite destination is Florida, which is roughly 1,000 miles to get to the places we want to go in Florida. So if we have 500 miles of range and we can make it 400 miles before the first stop, and then charge to 80% or so in a reasonable amount of time, and go yet another 300, 350, you might only have to charge 2 or 3 times to get all the way to Florida, which is really cool. And you can secure all of your luggage in the vault. So aside of the aesthetics, there's a lot about the truck that I like. So we're excited that we've placed the order, and we are anxiously waiting for updates. It looks like the activities going on in Texas are they're going very smooth and very fast. So I'm hopeful that deliveries will indeed happen starting at the end of next year. But we will see what that's all about. I'm just kind of catching up on a couple of these comments, but I don't think you have 2 years to wait in the UK for a Tesla Model Y. Giga Berlin is rumored to be ahead of schedule, actually. So that's really exciting news, and it is supposed to be done in the summer of 2021, something like July. But they're, again, possibly ahead of schedule, which is pretty awesome. So for you waiting in the UK, I don't think you have 2 years to wait. I think you're probably more like a year. So that's really awesome news for you. And uber jealous over here in the States that you'll be getting the new battery pack and the full body casting in your Model Y. So you'll have to share with the rest of the world what that all looks like and what the execution is on all that. So congratulations, Yeet Bro. I think that you do not have 2 years, hopefully, to wait, and you should have a pretty awesome Tesla Model Y. So I think that the Model X for now will do. I agree. The Model X is super nice. It's very costly. We did test drive one recently and seriously considered it. But ultimately, we're going to go with the Cybertruck. New technology with all the computers, new batteries, a completely new model, and it's going to offer us a lot of awesome opportunities. There's also more news coming to the channel that I can't quite share tonight, but the Cybertruck is going to be well in line with future things that we have going on. So another thing that we shared on the community tab was a picture of an order we placed for a hitch for the Tesla Model Y. So yes, we did order the hitch from Tesla. There are aftermarket options that are substantially less money. And if you're going to be taking bikes and putting bike racks or just a rack on the back, absolutely go the aftermarket route. It's about $350 to do that. If you're ever going to tow anything, spend the extra money. It's $1,200. It's not cheap. But you're going to get tow mode, and you're going to be able to bring that into your warranty, not have issues from Tesla, who could probably have an easier case, whether they win or not, against you if you use somebody else's hitch. So if you're going to be towing anything substantial, hint, hint, then you're going to want the Tesla $1,200 option for the tow hitch. So we are scheduled for Tuesday of next week, a week from today, to have that installed, and I'm super excited. I'm trying to be as patient as I possibly can, but I want it now, and I can't wait to get it next week. So there's going to be, roughly after Tuesday, I would be keeping an eye out on the channel, because there might be some exciting things to share after Tuesday of next week. So pretty excited. 20 wheels, need a name for touch-up paint. Touch-up, so don't worry about touch-up paint. It's actually not, if you scratch your wheels, ask me how I know. It's not that expensive to have a professional come out, take them off, and refurb them for you. The guy that we use, he's about $125, and it looks perfect. And there's no learning curve because he takes care of it all on his own. So that's pretty awesome. I just wanted to look back to one. I saw that used our referral code. Really appreciate it. I think we're at like 150 or 160 referrals. Like, it's ridiculous. And a lot of you folks are part of that, and we really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot. I really hope that in the future, although it's very doubtful, that Tesla would allow us to share those supercharging miles. I really wish we could do that, because I would love to do some free supercharging mile giveaways from time to time, just to share our appreciation. But not to worry, because we are doing some giveaways for the rest of the year. So for our members, the first giveaway will be happening in the next couple of days. We'll be giving away a center console wrap, and then we have some other bigger giveaways in mind coming up. So we're at 8,771 subscribers, I think. So we're closing in on 10,000, and I cannot wait to hit 10,000. I'm beyond blown away of the success that we've had on this channel, and it's all because of you guys, and we thank you so much. But when we hit 10,000, we're going to have a celebration here at BTG, and it is going to come with giveaways. So I'm very excited, and I want to share that excitement with all of you who support this channel. So 10,000 subscribers should be here soon. I can't wait. And when it does, we will celebrate properly. So hopefully that will be sooner than later. And my wife and I can spend some money to share a little bit in the celebration with you guys. So we're not going to be doing anything small unless we do multiple things. Maybe we'll do a couple smaller and one or two bigger items. But I have a really good idea of what I want to get to share with somebody to celebrate what all we've had. So so thank you again to everybody, all of you who have subscribed and continue to join us. When I say we appreciate it on the channel, my wife and I, we appreciate all of you who continue to support the channel. So thank you all very much, and we're excited to share some of that back with you. If the Cybertruck, when it releases, do I think it'll be close to 600 miles? I don't know. It says 500 plus. I think that it'll be interesting and telling when they launch the Model Y in Giga Berlin, because that'll be the first real test of these new batteries. And one of the things that Tesla has been notorious for is when they launch these new batteries, there's some hiccups along the way, but even just the Model Y, we just got 10 more miles of range. In the Model 3, when it launched, there at some point, there were additional miles added for that as well. So I think there's going to be, I don't know what the number will be, but it'll be interesting to see what the numbers land at. But 2.9 seconds, I think it'll It'll absolutely hit 2.9 seconds. I think it'll be rated at between 500 and 550 would be my guess. This is a big, heavy truck. And if you look at the wheels on it, those are very aggressive wheels on the vehicle, and I think that's going to really hurt the range. So it would be interesting to see if there's a more efficient alternative, and I think something like a Cybertruck that's projected to have 200 kilowatt hour battery, little efficiency gains are going to go a long way in the Cybertruck. So it'll be interesting to see for sure what it lands at. Yeah, wait for the beta tester. Yeah, I kind of feel like a beta tester from time to time with our Model Y. There's some things that have been fixed since, and some new features being added, including the awesome double pane windows that we just found out about like a week ago. So that's really cool. They're continuing to enhance, and I know some people get upset when they take delivery and then just a short period later something new's out. Tesla does it completely different than the other guys, and I applaud them for that approach. It's rather than delaying and holding back, they're just going full speed ahead and trying to get the best product that they can as quickly as they can. So in the long run, that's great for everybody. And I know, though, in the short term, that is kind of painful from time to time. I get jealous too. And speaking of which, so I'm trying to wrap up some video editing for this week. If I get everything done, this week's video will be the last quality update that we do on this channel for the Tesla Model Y, which is good news. We got our eyes on some October build dates, and I'm excited to show you what I saw. I think there's still some inconsistencies here and there, but overall, the Tesla Model Ys that are being built today are far better than any Tesla Model Ys that I've seen in the past. And it goes farther than just simple things. I'm excited to share. I don't know if I want to spoil the surprise, but let's just say if you're considering a white Tesla Model Y, and you know how we feel about that on this channel, I wouldn't be so concerned anymore. So I'm excited to share some of those images with you guys so you can see for yourself. But Tesla's really figured some stuff out in the last couple of months, because the July build ones that we saw weren't honestly that great. But the cars that I did just see look really, really good. So pretty excited. We'll do one last quality update because I think Tesla has finally gotten it to a point where it's extremely minor things here and there that can be easily addressed at the service center. So hats off to Tesla for having come this far now with the Tesla Model Y, regardless of how long it took them to get here. But yeah, the Tesla Model X. So Pepe, if you're going to tow, Tesla Model X is obviously a better choice because you can tow 5,000 pounds with that. But it's going to be interesting to see how well the Tesla Model Y tows with substantial weight. And I'll just leave it at that for now. So if you ordered the Tesla Model Y and didn't get the hitch, don't forget you can add it later. So no concerns about adding it later like we're doing. It's $200 more than if you would have ordered it from the factory. So it's not like you have a huge penalty for ordering it and adding it later, and they'll install it for you. That's included in the cost. So yeah, Jim, you knew I was going to order. Yeah, a couple people were calling it, and I guess it's probably no surprise, but I think that the boys are probably going to want to drive it too. They love the Tesla, and it's so much fun. Even silly things like the whoopee cushion, they still get a laugh out of that. So we kind of pick on one of the two, and I won't tell you which, and we all have a good laugh about it. So, and the air suspension for the Cybertruck is going to be awesome. So if you're used to towing or have any truck experience, being able to auto level the rear of the truck while you're towing something is going to be awesome. And then on top of that, of course, the ride quality. Now, one of the things trucks usually suffer from is the rear of the truck is substantially less weight than the front, and it's by a lot. So there's times when you can get a light rear feeling, and you can feel it while you're driving. Now the Cybertruck is going to have that huge battery underneath, and it's going to be a more balanced truck than what's out there these days. So it's It's going to be interesting to see how it drives. I'm almost wondering how close it's going to feel to a traditional SUV with like an air suspension. Pretty excited about it. Can't wait to check it out. Yeah. Brenda, you have 32 items in your Amazon cart. Welcome to owning a Tesla. My God, Jeeps and Teslas, I'm telling you, accessories galore. You can continue to add countless accessories to this car, and it's kind of fun, but at the same time, that adds up pretty quick if you're not careful. So be very selective on what you decide to go for. But yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get your Tesla Model Y too. If you are waiting for your delivery, go ahead and order your stuff and get it sent to your house now, and have it waiting for your car. We did a couple things. We had like the screen protector and a couple other things waiting for the car, and I'm glad that we had it so we could put it on right away. Pretty awesome. 19s, 20s, and 21 in range comparison. I think I saw your note before the live stream started. So we've done a range test with the 20s. I'm anxious to know what the 19s do. The 21s, I don't know how I'm going to get my hands on 19s or 21s. But here's a better thought, and I've been kind of stewing through this in my mind. What if we got 18-inch aftermarket wheels that were an inch narrower, or even 19s that were an inch narrower? Because you would absolutely gain range by doing that. You're going to have less rolling resistance and, of course, less weight. The Tesla wheels are not light, and they're not even like in the ballpark of light. So you can even get the same size wheels and save weight on all four corners. And it's a huge difference. A couple of pounds doesn't sound like a lot, and usually it wouldn't be. But where you're talking about the wheels, that couple of pounds is huge. So there's a lot of opportunity to save in range. Get the basic wheels. I'm telling you, I keep preaching this on this channel. Get the Gemini wheels, and then take that $2,000 and apply it towards whatever wheels you want. Even if you want the inductions, buy somebody's takeoff induction wheels. Buy somebody's 21-inch Uber turbine. It's not going to be $2,000, but it's only going to be a little bit more. Or even better, look for some of these aftermarket options like Martian Wheels. Makes a really awesome wheel. And there's countless others that make awesome wheels for these cars, and you can gain some serious benefits from going aftermarket and saving that $2,000, and then have two sets of wheels. So still my recommendation. That's what we would do if we ordered again. 6 boxes waiting to be opened. Pretty awesome. Nothing better than having a mountain of Amazon boxes to open for your new ride. So pretty awesome. The glass window in the Tesla Model Ys, I'm excited to, hopefully after this pandemic is over, hopefully somebody will take me for a ride so I can just hear the difference. We've owned a car that had laminated glass, and it was actually really quiet in there, and it wasn't a car known for being quiet. It was actually a GM product, the only GM we've ever owned. But it had laminated glass like that, and it was very quiet in there, especially for the time. So pretty awesome, certainly. Use BTG code to save. Yeah, so ForMyTesla.com is a big sponsor of this channel, but one of the nice things about it is the products that we showcase on this channel with him, like the Max Spider floor mats as an example. If you use BTG Max on a site for the Max Spiders, you're going to pay less than anywhere else online. At least that's last time I looked. You cannot get those 3D Max Spider floor mats cheaper than you can at ForMyTesla.com using BTG Max. We absolutely love, love, love these floor mats, especially the interior floor mats. I'm still up in the air about the cargo mat compared to the Tasmanian one. If the Tasmanian one fit perfectly, it would be no question Tasmanian. But because it's got some fitment issues, it's kind of annoying. But I'm not super crazy about the cargo mat for 3D Max Spider, but the interior, no question about it. Best purchase we've had so far, and that is my #1 accessory. And that video will be coming soon. We'll do a overview of the accessories that you must have, and we'll do like a must-haves, nice-to-haves, and honorable mentions type thing. But those floor mats are number one on my list, 100%. They're awesome. So again, for mytesla.com, if you want to check those out, cheapest price you can get those for. Yeah. Yes, and that double pane glass is coming, and we've already got pictures of people taking delivery of Model Ys with that double pane glass, so that is coming. Air suspension is probably not coming, other than the Cybertruck, unless that's what you meant. But I don't see the air suspension making its way to the Tesla Model Y. It's already in the X, which is pretty cool, and it's in the S, which is great. But I know Sandy Monroe showed where you could fit a tank. But I don't see it coming. Price is an issue right now, so they're not going to add stuff like that. That's going to increase cost substantially. The truck is 80s ugly. Yeah, I totally agree. The Cybertruck is so ugly, but when we get it, it's going to be my ugly. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I can get over some of the things, but we have some ideas of how to make it look better. I'm not going to spoil the surprises there yet, but we have some pretty good ideas of how to make it look just a little bit better. And I'm really excited to get the Cybertruck in a couple of years. Yeah. So 2 Cybertrucks. There's some people who are ordering like fleets of these Cybertrucks, which is crazy. But I don't know what I would do with 2 Cybertrucks. If I got 2, I'd probably get a Cybertruck and maybe the Rivian just to try that out, because that's actually a beautiful truck. But you don't have the Tesla supercharging network, so you can't really travel very well in most EVs, which is the problem. And Tesla did such a good job of really creating a competitive moat by doing that. How does the Y stack up to the Range Rover that we have? So actually a great question. We have a Land Rover Discovery, and it's oh my God, it's a gorgeous car inside and out. Quality is British quality, so it's been in the shop a few times. And anytime something doesn't work, like the kick sensor for the tailgate, my wife and I look at each other and say, it's British, it's supposed to do that. So it's a gorgeous car, and the materials are second to none, and it is an air ride suspension. As heavy as that truck is, it rides on clouds. But my wife and I both agree, without a doubt, the Tesla Model Y is more comfortable than that Land Rover that we have, which is saying a lot. I don't know why that is, but the Tesla Model Y is just so comfortable, and it takes the cake for that. Now the Land Rover has other things that the Tesla does not, of course, that are nice, but it's just a lease, and we have no intention of keeping it, and probably will be our last Land Rover once we turn it in. I don't know if I'm ashamed to admit this or not, but it's also a diesel, which is, I've always loved diesels. We had a Volkswagen during Dieselgate, and it was heartbreaking that all happened. But we get like 25, 26 miles to the gallon in that huge, heavy truck. So that's kind of what's nice about it. But at the same time, I keep keeping an eye out for news to break about Land Rover being the next diesel to be having issues with emissions. So hopefully it doesn't happen in our ownership period. And I hope that they're not doing anything tricky with the emissions, because Volkswagen really messed that up for us, unfortunately. So anyways, so the Cybertruck, I don't think pricing is off, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the Cybertruck, the cost to make that thing is going to be super cheap because of the way they designed it. You're talking about flat stamped panels on the outside, with some nice seats on the inside and a very basic finish. There's nothing to it. Whereas like the Model S has a lot of curves to it. The inside is completely unique. 2 screens, the dashboard has design. There's a lot of things going on in the Model S and the Model X that the Cybertruck doesn't have going on. It is going to have a 17-inch screen rather than the 15 in the Y, so that'll be cool. But overall, it's kind of basic, honestly, and I think that adds to the ugly factor in my opinion. But as long as those seats are as comfortable as the Y is, I have no qualms and no worry. So yeah. And yes, great news on the white. So white is still my preferred color, and I'm glad that Tesla has finally figured this out, because I think that white on black, that's always been like our go-to, and I think it looks so great. So anyways, more on that hopefully by Friday at 8 a.m. as usual. That'll be our video this week. So hopefully that works out for us. By Friday. So that's the goal. We'll have it up on Friday because I said it. All right. Wife has a new medical position. Hopefully Florida. Yeah, moving to Florida would be awesome. Well, thanks, Jim, for the kind words. So yeah, congratulations. You have a kid on the way, hopefully a daughter. So I'm guessing that means you have boys or a boy, and you're hoping to get the whole setup going. We originally had plans for how many kids we were going to have, but kids are exponentially more work. One kid is one kid hard. Two kids is not two kids hard. It's exponentially more. It's not one more kid of hard work. It's exponential. Two kids is like 3 times as hard as one kid. So we're not going to be going for round 3 in the BTG household. But congratulations to you, Jim. Best of luck. And I hope if it is a girl you want, hopefully it is. And if not, hopefully it's happy and healthy. So, and white interior, awesome, Ryan. I'm glad to hear you went for it. Everybody go for white interior, go for it. I am working with a company right now on some white interior stuff. So hopefully soon that will be something we can share on this channel, because that white interior is just so awesome. And standard single Model Y. So you're talking about the long range rear wheel drive. Elon Musk did state that they were working on it, and I know the 7-seater is going into production like any day now, and those will start delivering in December. So because of that, I don't think that the long-range rear-wheel drive will be this year. It will come out early next year, though. So they're basically going to blow through all these 7-passenger orders pretty quickly, probably in a couple months, and then they'll finally open up the orders for the long-range rear-wheel drive. So probably end of Q1, I would think, is when they're going to start accepting orders for those. So I know there's people that ordered originally when this thing was announced, still waiting for Tesla to make the long-range rear-wheel drive, but probably won't be too terribly much longer to have to wait for that. Option for the mud flaps. So I think I shared with this maybe on the last live stream. There is one option for mud flaps right now. I think it's evmudflaps.com. They're in Canada, really nice people, cool company. I'm not a huge fan of them though, because they're so basic, and they're $130. So I'm still back and forth on if I'm going to put them on. Of course, if we do, we'll share that on the channel. No discount codes provided, unfortunately, but that's the only one I'm aware of. So if you're willing to wait a little bit longer, I'm sure there's going to be other options that may look a little bit better coming very soon. However, winter is coming. It is coming. So there's not a lot of time to get mud flaps on before winter. So anyways, mud flaps, if you live north, you're going to want them. So right now you have one option and it's $130. So you better get that order in so that you can get those on. Anyways, so $285 with your 21s. So you have a performance model. So $285 is not bad. They just updated it. What is it, $291 now? So you're only 6 under brand new, which is pretty awesome. We're way less than that on ours because our car lives on the highway. And when my wife drives, she drives at 80 plus. So that definitely eats into the efficiency of the car and continues to bring down our range. But it's starting to go back up, which is nice. So we're at 293 at 100% according to the estimate. So pretty awesome. Wheels, check out. Yeah, just lost that. Check out recent car video from TFL Car. The Martian wheels are light, and they are my pick. if I was going to do it for now. I would go with the 18-inch, 8.5-inch wide. So you're going to be 2 inches smaller diameter compared to the inductions anyways, and 1 inch thinner on the and 1 inch thinner than the standard wheels, both Gemini and induction. So there's a lot of efficiency you could gain from doing that. And in my opinion, they're one of the few wheels that actually looks good. So pretty excited about that. Maybe someday that'll be happening. I don't know. It's still a lot of money. Everything's just money, right? So for scratched wheels, you're just looking for a mobile wheel repair or any wheel and tire center that does wheel repair. The guy that we use has a mobile setup. It's on a trailer. He just shows up at our house, comes in, takes the wheel off, puts it in his trailer, grinds it down, does whatever, and makes a perfect match on the paint, and then puts it on, and that's it, and that's done. And basically, you just can't wash it for a few days. But other than that, wheel repair is super cheap, and I would not, because of the cost, $125 is at least what it costs for us. I wouldn't do it myself because it wouldn't look great, and the whole reason to get it fixed is because it looks terrible. So anyways, yeah, that's how I would recommend finding wheel repair. They're pretty common across the country and not unreasonable, at least. So yeah, Cybertruck won't fit in your garage. That sucks for you. I've measured like 3 or 4 times, and I think we've got like maybe 4 inches to the bumper, and then there's also like, I don't know, another 4 inches to the wall. So we might have 8 inches to fit. So it's going to be a tight fit, but I think it'll fit somewhere between 6 inches and a foot of space, depending on how this thing lands, at least according to the specs that we know of now. And I know that originally Elon Musk was talking about making it smaller so that it'll fit better in garages, but it sounds like that's not going to be a case. That's not going to be the case. So I think the dimensions we know about are what the Cybertruck is going to end up being. So Cybertruck's getting company wraps to jazz it up. Yeah, I think that's probably it, because the biggest thing for me, aside from it being ugly, I'm trying to picture myself sitting at a stoplight in the Cybertruck and like people looking at you like, look at this guy, because it's like driving a Hummer, right? Like you're just, so I don't know. That was my biggest holdup with the Cybertruck. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. What's my day job? I have a day job, and I am actually a commodity manager. So I buy stampings and for a global company headquartered here in the Indy area. So that's what I do for my day job. I work with suppliers, do contracts, negotiations, things like that. So it's a job that I really enjoy. So I'm glad that I enjoy the job that I have, which is always helpful. But doing this on the side has been a lot of fun as well. So definitely time consuming, but well worth it so far. So taking delivery tomorrow in Chicago, Mike. Awesome. Congratulations. You as well as everybody else taking delivery. It's so exciting. And I remember not being able to sleep very well when I found out my car was ready. So I can only imagine how you're feeling tonight trying to go to sleep. And yeah, but congratulations, look it over. And after you've done that, enjoy the hell out of it. And that's my advice to you. Just enjoy it. And it's going to be fun. If it's your first Tesla, it's going to be quite the experience. If it's not, you're just going to appreciate what the Model Y is compared to the other Teslas. So regen options being removed from new builds. I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't remove that as an option, unless you're saying it's only going to be standard. I doubt they're going to do that, because our neighbors, as an example, they went and test drove a performance Model Y, and they said they felt like they were getting sick. So some people, it's hard for them to adjust to that regen because it is pretty aggressive, and it's not hard to get used to for most people, but there are some people who do not like it, and I think that's going to keep people away from taking the plunge with the Tesla. So hopefully that is not an option that's going away. But I have not heard that, and hopefully that's not the case. Yeah, you're in Wisconsin and getting ready for winter is an understatement. Yeah, I totally get it. I'm glad we're not that far north, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to winter. I suffer from a very serious illness in the wintertime. It's a vitamin D deficiency. So eventually, I just need to get closer to the equator to have the benefits of sunshine. Um, Here in Indianapolis, during the winter time, a sunny day is a holiday. So if you're familiar with that feeling, that's what it is here. It's cloudy and dreary every single day, and then every once in a while the sun comes out and everybody leaves work early because it's beautiful out, and it'll be cold, but the sun will be shining and you'll instantly be feeling better. So I suffer from a vitamin D deficiency during the winter, and as I get older, it is even worse. So eventually, I just need to get my way down south. So, anyways, white interior, 20-inch wheels with a hitch on white. So you're looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it for you because I think those are great options, especially after what we discovered this week on some of the October build dates. So congratulations. Hopefully it gets delivered soon. White with the 20-inch induction wheels. Whew, it's such a good look. So, yep. Do you think some of the other refresh features that are coming to 3 are coming to the Y? I believe the refresh features that we're seeing in the Model 3 will be making their way to the Model Y. It's just going to take some time. I was surprised to see that they haven't done. I was surprised to see that they didn't roll out the Model 3 center console in the Y already. I figured that would be in parallel since it's basically the same thing. But I guess as it turns out, it's actually a little bit taller in the Y. So it is a different part number. But it's the same design, same top, same everything like that. So they will be making their way. They're just, for whatever reason, they haven't made the switch. They don't do this based on years or anything else. So whatever commitments they have in place for the inventory that they have is basically what it sounds like this is all waiting on. So I think those will definitely be making their way over. I don't think they'll be changing the wheels, though, like they did in the Model 3. As a matter of fact, they made the Model 3 wheels more like the Model Y, but I think that's pretty much it. The double pane glass, of course. It already has the heat pump. So I think those are the big ones. Already has a powered lift gate. So yeah, I think just the center console is really the only thing, and it's still on the website. The Tesla Model Y still shows the current center console even today. So once that updates, then we'll know that it's coming. So anyways, I watched the one video from Jeebs a couple weeks ago, but yeah, more power to him, I guess. I don't really have much to say. Thanks, liquid vitamin D with K2. Liquid vitamin D is not a substitute for sunshine. That's the problem. I need the real thing. I need the organic vitamin D, and that can only be solved with beautiful rays of sunshine. It doesn't even have to be hot. It can even be a little chilly. I just hate winter because I need the real deal. So black on black with tow hitch. I finally saw my first black on black Tesla Model Y. I think it was a performance, and God, it looked really good. It did have. We just saw a black on black with induction wheels on a road trip, and that guy painted his calipers red, and it looked really, really good. I've had a lot of black cars in the past. Now that I have kids, I don't have the time to maintain that black look as well as I used to. So unfortunately, black's probably not in my future for a while. Maybe. I love black cars though, so I don't know. Good for you, Oscar. Black on black is going to look superb, especially with those beautiful induction wheels. The one I saw this weekend had red painted calipers and it looked top notch. So maybe you should consider some epoxy paint for your calipers because that looks really sharp. Make sure you get those windows tinted too, just to complete the dark out look and protect that paint as quickly as you can. Arizona does have the sun and the heat, but it's a dry heat, right? No, I'm just kidding. 115 degrees is hot no matter how humid it is. But yeah, I've been to Arizona a few times. We were just in Vegas in July, and that's the kind of sunshine I like. And I can even get past that really hot when it's not quite as humid, but it's kind of crowded in the places I've been in Arizona. So I don't know if that's on our list. We're Midwest people. The farther west we get, it's just different. So I'm more of a Florida, even though it's stupid hot and humid, and like even in the shade, you're just pouring sweat, which sounds miserable, but I always feel happy when I'm there. So I don't know. Spare tire kit. I've been seeing these spare tire kits. I don't think we're going to get one, but because it just takes up too much room. I don't know where I'd put it and still be able to have full access. So I know that's a risk we're taking by not having a spare tire. And by getting the tow hitch, maybe we need to really consider having a spare tire. But we'll think through that one. Modern Spare, I think, is the one I'm aware of. And it gets pretty good reviews. It's a good alternative and an option to have. So we do not have solar power. I do have an order for Tesla solar, just the panels with the recent pricing updates. But yeah, we do not have solar. Solar is slowly making its way in the state of Indiana. We're very slow on the progressive stuff like that. So access, and even Tesla doesn't do it here yet, but even access to that kind of stuff here in Indiana, most of the companies that do it are in the surrounding states, which is interesting. But Indiana doesn't subsidize stuff like that, so there's not a lot of access to solar. And my wife told me that I better get over my excitement about solar while we're in this house and wait till we get to the next house. So probably won't be getting solar, unfortunately, in this house as much as I want it. And I think we could pay for itself in about 8 years was the calculation I did. So I wish we could get solar, but it's hard to get here and it's very expensive, at least right now. But we do have an order, so we'll see what happens in the next year or two as Elon continues to push solar. He loses focus on it. He does these big like sprints, and then you don't hear anything about it. So hopefully they expand this across the country very soon. So single motor Model Y, I believe, will be end of Q1 next year. That's my best guess. 7-row Model Y will be coming out end of this year, which is cool. So I would assume end of Q1 of next year. Full self-driving looks good so far. I agree, and I've been watching some of the beta testers closely, and it's getting a lot of good reviews, and it sounds like it's already being enhanced. So they're spending a lot of time and resources on getting this right, which is good. It looks wicked cool too, though. It's really neat to see what the computer is seeing in some of these videos with the full self-driving. So looks good. I hope that it works out really well. Anyone else knows the clicking sound? So the clicking sound in your Gemini wheels is a known issue. This was early on when Tesla Model Y started delivering. A lot of people complained about that. But this sound goes away after 400 or 500 miles, which is totally weird. But it's something to do with the stressing of the hubcaps that's happening. And after enough stress has happened, it levels out and then you won't hear it anymore. So if it doesn't go away after 500 miles or so, then you can schedule an appointment to get those checked out. But weird, I know, but that is, I guess, normal within spec, right? So anyways, you have to road trip a few hours just far enough south to get some sun. You feel, I totally agree. And we're getting a tow hitch to help support that idea. On the weekends, go just enough south to get some sunshine. I agree. We'll be in Texas in November for Thanksgiving, so hopefully it's sunny while we're there. Get a nice little warm up. Looks like it might be in the 70s around then. So looking forward to that little getaway. We're going to spend a few days rather than just a weekend. But I just got to find a place in Tennessee that has a good mix of a little bit warmer, but definitely sunshine, and somewhere with something nice to look at, and maybe good surrounding nature. So the new rims on the Model 3 look meh. I agree, at least on the base. I think the base ones look better. So the Aero wheels look better. The upgraded wheels, the 19s, look meh. The performance wheels look really good. I mean, the 20-inch Uber turbine wheels, I think, look really good on the Model 3. So that's pretty cool. San Diego, I've actually been to San Diego a lot. My company has a couple plants down in Mexico, and they're in the Baja. So I fly in and out of San Diego when I go down there, and it's my favorite place in California to visit because the weather is always great, and it is such a clean city and does not suffer from the same congestion that like LA does. So John Larson, if you live in San Diego, congratulations to you. It's a beautiful city, and I really do enjoy visiting San Diego when I'm there. So taking delivery of Model Y in Michigan, that's like voodoo. I think you guys just now started getting more access to Tesla just in 2020. But yeah, if you could change, I would recommend the 19-inch Geminis, especially in Michigan. The tires on none of the tires are going to be great for winter that the Tesla comes with, but if you save the $2,000, apply that towards a different set of wheels altogether. So keep your Geminis for winter so they can get beat up and banged up. Maybe even consider changing out the tires to a winter set. I don't know where specifically you are in Michigan and how bad your winters are, but probably worse than here. And then spend a little bit of money and get some nice wheels for the rest of the year that you would like to look at. So farther north you go, the more relevant that conversation is, in my opinion. But any reviews on limited self-driving release? So yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I think it looks awesome. It looks like it's going very well. It's interesting. We have a lot of roundabouts here, and it was fun to watch somebody drive through a roundabout. Looks like it's not too sure on the roundabout situation yet. And even a year ago, I think it was, Elon Musk suggested that roundabouts are a challenge for full self-driving because it's not navigating a roundabout. It's everybody else that's coming in and out of the roundabout that is hard to figure out on the computer side. So yes, you do have sun in California. There are rural areas here too. Yes. And yeah, you came from Wisconsin. So I'm not a California person, I don't think. I'm there enough throughout the year to know I probably couldn't live there. It's just too congested. And the places I would want to be, I don't think I could live long term, except for maybe like San Diego, because it is such a beautiful place. But farther north, it's a different kind of beautiful. San Francisco. So San Diego, San Francisco, two of my favorite cities in the entire country. Love them very much, and for very different reasons. But most of California that I've been in is just too congested, and maybe I'm just haven't had an opportunity to see enough of what else is in California to know better. So that's my 2 cents about that. Just after 3 years, I don't think it's going to take 3 years for Indiana people to adjust to Florida. And I say that we get all of our air from the Gulf, so we get the same humidity that Florida gets. It's just for a shorter period of time. So we get close to 100 degrees with 100% humidity here in the summer, and it's awful. But in Florida, it's just a longer period. But I love Florida because there's so much to do. It's if it's a rainy day, it's going to be sunny in a couple hours, and I really do enjoy going to Florida. So congratulations to you from 14 years ago leaving Ohio. That's pretty cool. So some places for wheel repair. There you go. See, I told you, just check them out. Somebody can come out to you, or you can go to them. It's gonna, just don't bother trying to fix a curb rash yourself. Not worth the time and the cost to try to figure it out yourself. Just pay a pro to do it. It's not a lot of money. 8K for full self-driving or 8K in Tesla stock? 8K in Tesla stock. There, I said it. I'm not a fan. We don't have full self-driving for a reason. It's not worth it. Right now, it's not. And you're paying now for something that's not available. Now, with this limited release of early beta testers, I think this is really telling. I think that I'm even surprised that they got this far with full self-driving, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this thing finally closes out, because regulators are sitting very close to this thing and watching it very closely, because it's not going to take very much for them to get some things done to shut this entire thing down, at least for a period until they figure some stuff out. So as long as the government can stay out of it, I think that full self-driving can be rolled out much sooner than even I anticipated, but it's getting ready to be $10,000 now. So I think a couple things are going to happen. One, subscription model will be coming. Now, I did see some disappointing tweets from Elon Musk that said that it's going to be later next year before the subscription model comes out, which is a total bummer. But once they bump this thing to 10 grand, they have made this unreachable for so many people that they are going to struggle. And because of that, I think they're going to start either offering a la carte or a enhanced autopilot all the time. So I think something like that's going to be coming. It's just too expensive. 10 grand is a ton of money. You can buy another car for 10 grand. So I think they made it inaccessible for a lot of people, and they're going to suffer with sales because of that. So they're going to adjust, whether that's doing the subscription model, or, in my personal belief, enhanced autopilot will start to become a full-time option, and less likely an a la carte, which would be totally awesome, because then you could just buy the little features that you want. So EAP, I think that's coming full-time. What sold me on the tires of the wheel? You hit a curb and ruined both. Yeah, totally agree. Telling how long to get the wheel. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to replace these wheels, no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, buy the stock if that's what you want to do with your 8K. It's such a volatile stock. I don't know. Eventually, this thing's got to stop growing, right? I don't know. I'm not into stocks, and I avoid it like the plague. I've tried a couple times and got burned every time. I might as well have went to Vegas and played in the casinos, because that's what it felt like. I lost my money like that. So I don't play stock games. I just invest in my 401k, and that's the extent of my investment strategy. So we avoid particular stocks, except for Disney. We've got some long-term we have 5 shares, 5 single shares of Disney. So we pretty much own the place. And I expect that kind of treatment when we go down to Disney as a stockholder with our 5 shares. So that's the extent of our investment portfolio on an individual basis. South one state to Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky, we went to Lexington this weekend. I've never been there. I don't know why I didn't make the connection about the racehorses, but what a surprise. Like, it caught me off guard. Like, gorgeous area. Oh my God. Some of these horse farms were just chucking millions of dollars. And it was beautiful. So I don't think it's far enough south, though. I got to get past the Mason-Dixon line, and then you're talking about now you don't have snow. So that sounds really good to me. I hate winter. Anyways, yeah, Southwest Florida coast is, yeah, that's awesome. Wherever you're at on Southwest coast of Florida, we like as far north as Clearwater, all the way down Fort Myers is a place we really enjoy, and we're hoping to maybe go down there this winter, close to Christmas time. We'll see. We're kind of in the early stages of planning a Florida trip for December, like the week of Christmas, and then kind of be back like Christmas Eve kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes, but Fort Myers is on the short list. We've stayed at Fort Walton and really liked that, but I think we want to go south, like real south, since it'll be December. So Fort Myers or south, I think, is where we're headed. And so that should be well over 1,000 miles one way. So that'll be a big trip, and definitely looking forward to making that trip come together. So lower the price more for the Model Y. Absolutely. Prices on the Model Y, the Model 3, all of them are going to continue to go down, and range is going to continue to go up. And that is going to happen for the foreseeable future. So for the next 5 years, prices are going to continue to go down, range is going to continue to go up, and then eventually it'll start to level off. But I think it's going to take 5 full years before prices and range start to level off, because that's how quick the technology all of a sudden is accelerating again. So if you're concerned about price, you're never going to get in the game. And if you're concerned about being obsoleted, you're never going to get in the game, because this stuff is going to continue to happen. And that's a long time to sit on the sidelines. Yeah, that's my opinion on that, about prices and range. So Southwest Florida. Yep. Come to Colorado. We have a plant in Colorado. So I go to Colorado quite frequently, and our plant is in Colorado Springs. And this is my extent of Colorado talk. So our plant is in the foothills of Pikes Peak, and it's kind of a tradition that when you go out there, at least once you need to go to the top of Pikes Peak. It took me 5 times to get to the top of Pikes Peak, because every time I went, it was snowed out at the top. And I didn't go in December or January or anything like that. I'm talking May, June, freaking snowed out at the top. Like, how is that possible? So finally, 2 years ago, I finally got there and you could get to the top. So I had a coworker with me. We drove to the top. It was really cool. I made it from the car to where you stand and look over the side, and thought I was going to pass out. So apparently living at 800 feet above sea level is not a good way to condition yourself to walk across the parking lot on top of Pikes Peak. Maybe I'm out of shape. I get it, but it was brutal. I could not do anything. I had to sit down, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but it was ugly. The guy I was with, he was climbing over boulders trying to take selfies, and I'm gonna sit right here. I thought I was gonna pass out. But yeah, my wife and I have also been talking about Colorado. So I think spring next year, we're thinking about taking a drive to Colorado. I-70 goes straight through Indianapolis and all the way to Denver. So that's probably on the list, and we'll probably go south of Denver so we can go to Garden of the Gods and all the cool places that direction. So Colorado is probably spring of next year, and so that is penciled in on the schedule for now. So I think that's going to happen. And Peyton Manning did go to Colorado. You're absolutely right. He's like the biggest Papa John's owner of Colorado, which is a smart guy, right? Yeah. So when we're in Vegas, what do we play? We play craps. Well, I play craps. She gets bored. She plays the slots, so we lose all that money. But we went to Vegas in July and had a blast, even with the pandemic, but nothing else to do. And we had a good time. We played craps and won some money and had a good old time. So I no longer play machines as much as I used to love playing machines. I now strictly try to play craps. That's my game. It's playing long-term with stocks. It doesn't matter how long-term you plan with stocks, unless, I don't know, I'm just not good at it, so I avoid it. But I appreciate the attempted advice on stocks. I'm just the wrong guy to be playing the game. You can go buy a nice 700cc motorcycle less than, you can buy a bigger bike than that for less than 10 grand. I agree, 10 grand is nuts, but that's just my opinion, and I don't want you guys to feel ashamed if that's not your opinion. That's one of the nice things, is it's an option. So everybody has that option for themselves. The reason I think first quarter for Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive, there's 2 reasons. One, Elon Musk confirmed they're going into production of the 7-row Model Y now, and they'll start delivering in December. So I'm sorry, November they'll start production, December they'll start delivering. And after they get through the standing 7-row orders, then it will be time to open up orders for the long-range rear-wheel drive. And I think it's going to take them a couple of months to get through the 7-passenger Model Y orders that they have. So it's pure speculation. I don't know this for a fact, but that's what it points to in my mind. And they're not going to offer that until they absolutely need to help boost profits. It's been their strategy since the beginning, and they've perfected that. strategy. And as I continue to look on their website almost daily, the lead time has increased again for the Tesla Model Y. So I think it was 5 to 9 weeks last I looked, which it could be different now. But so they're building their orders out, which is good for them, but it's not good for those of you waiting for the rear-wheel drive option to save some money. I still think it's going to be $45,990, which is an awesome price. So for those of you holding out, I think you're going to be pleased with what you receive. And with the recent range update, does that mean it's going to approach 350 miles of range? I think it's going to be really close. The difference was like 20 or so miles. So that means it would be about 346 miles just based on the original announcement of that 20-mile gap. So it could be close to 350-mile range, which would be unbelievable, and it would be awesome. So we'll see what happens. The long-range all-wheel drive Model 3 is 353 miles, which is mind-blowing and pretty awesome. So hopefully they get close to or exceed 350 somehow, some way. I can't imagine them not thinking to themselves the difference of launching the car and having 346 miles and having 351 miles of range listed. It's a big difference in marketing terms. So I think they're going to do everything that they possibly can to get 350 plus miles out of the rear wheel drive Tesla Model Y. So this beard is getting longer. What's the most recent stuff you did on the Model Y? Okay, so we've got some stuff going on. We just finally did all of the accessories we've wanted and we've kind of held off on. So some of that stuff is still coming in the mail, but we will be doing a accessories video very soon. It's going to be all the accessories that you should, could, or want to have. I said at the beginning of the live streams, we're going to do must-haves. So these will be the things that you got to have. Go ahead and order them before you take your car. The nice to have, so things that are going to be, whether you want it or not. And then the honorable mentions. So these will be bigger items that I think are nice to have, situational. So we've added a lot of accessories in the last couple of weeks, and there's still more coming in the mail. So I'm excited to share all those with you and let you know which ones I recommend and which ones I say go ahead and skip. So pretty cool stuff. We did just recently get a center console cover that I'm actually stoked about. I don't have a deal with the company or anything like that, but it's totally unique. It may be replicated by now or soon. But it is awesome. Forget the wraps. This thing is so cool. Anyways, I'll share more of that very soon, and of course, where you can get all that stuff. So white on white performance model is pretty awesome. Congratulations. You changed it to black for your wife and waiting for the VIN. Yeah, I like black too, so good for you and your wife winning on that one. I think that black is going to look awesome. Did you get the white interior at least to go with that black? Safety is absolutely the best Tesla feature. We did a video a while back. It did terrible. Nobody watched it. Nobody cared about it, unfortunately. But there is a video that we did overviewing the entire safety picture, and it is 100% the best Tesla feature, no doubt about it. So if you get some time, check it out. I go through all the details of why it's such a safe vehicle. We kind of try to break it down into more basic terms so you can understand the principles behind it. But it's, yeah, I mean, as more and more Teslas are coming on, you're seeing more and more people sharing reports after an accident of walking away. There was one just recently, a head-on collision. She got hit by a drunk driver at 70 miles an hour and had a broken finger and something else very minor. Like in any other car, that is dead. You're dead. You're not walking away from that. Countless examples of people walking out of a Tesla, anything that would have been killed in any other car, no question about it. So I agree, Jim, 100%. Fort Myers is nice, and if we are out there, don't worry, we'll be publishing that. So you're welcome to try to catch us while we're in the area. 10 grand on a Tesla ATV. Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. If it matches the Cybertruck, it would be cool to have that in the back. And it was cool watching the demonstration where they lowered the rear of the car so you could easily ramp it in. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Getting better European headlights. I don't know. I don't know anything about the European specs for headlights, but I know they just did the tail lights to be compliant for the European market. Get a lot of accessories as well. Yeah, thanks for sharing feedback on the accessories that you liked and didn't like. You're absolutely free to share those with me and see if we agree or disagree on anything. And then any of the other accessories that you loved that I don't even know about. So opinions about the double pane windows, they're going to be awesome. I wish that I wish that we had those in ours. I said earlier in this, we've only owned one GM and it had double pane windows and it was very quiet in that car, and it was not known for being a quiet car. So double pane windows are awesome. A lot of luxury cars come with that. And the biggest weak link in the Tesla Model Y is all that glass. So that glass is going to be a great place to add insulation with double pane. Get a SOUWT. What is an SOUWT? Explain it to me so then I can tell you yes or no. I don't know what you're asking for. SOUWT out. Can I have a shout out? Is that what you're asking for? Decline delivery if it's not double pane, right? Up to you. I know that they got rid of the return window of 7 days. So you either have to accept or decline it, and you cannot return it in 7 days. So make sure you're satisfied with it 100%. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's completely personal, and don't let anybody tell you one way or the other. It is your car and your money. So if you know that would bother you, then yeah, do what's right for you. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different, regardless if they think it's irresponsible or stupid or anything like that. So if you want those double pane windows, make sure you get them. I think that's a fair way to answer that. What do you want to shout out for? For what? What would you like me to shout out? I don't understand. Just tell me what you want to shout out for, and then I'll read that and understand why you need a shout out. I don't understand. I'm missing something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's something I should be aware of. Any tire wear thoughts? Tire wear sucks. We did our 10,000 mile review not that long ago. We were down to 6 millimeters on the tires. So these are not going to exceed 25,000 miles. These are going to be a 20 to 25,000 mile tire. These are the induction wheel tires, though. These are heavy, heavy cars, and that just absolutely wears down the tires. There's no way around it. So the factory tires are not made for longevity. They're made for other performance considerations. So there are alternative options once those wear out to try to get longer life out of them. I'm sorry, gaming with Nicola or Nikolai. What do you want to shout out for? Just tell me so I understand. I'm missing something here about what the shout out is for. Just explain it to me. I'm sorry, I'm missing it. Can I show you some pics of my car now? You want to see it in the garage? I don't know. Let's see if I've got any pictures. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have any recent pictures other than, no, not really. I do have a picture, but I don't want to spoil a surprise. I can show you a quick flash. Hang on. You'll like that. Let's see here. There's the back of the Tesla. What's that in the back? Yep, that's all you get for now. That's all you get. Something exciting and new that'll hopefully be coming very soon. I don't want to steal your thunder. Will those without full self-driving get better accuracy or with just autopilot with the update? I can't count how many times the car has veered towards the left. I don't know. Honestly, Brian, I don't know if you're going to have a better experience with those situations where the car seems to pull in a direction. The areas I notice it the most is when the lane opens up to allow like an off ramp or something, but there's no lines. That's where I notice it start to lurch in directions. And I don't know if full self-driving is going to solve that with the true full self-driving. It looks like the system is predicting as well as verifying with cameras lanes, because it's recognizing cars in front of you and almost using that as a qualifier for what it's doing. Now, it's not going to follow and do exactly what the car in front of you is, but in theory, you would say, does that mean it's not going to try to peel off into an off lane or something like that? I don't know. I wish I could tell you better, but definitely on the highways, when those on and off ramps come up and there's not good lines, the car will try to split the two and make it even. So it's weird, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't know if full self-driving is going to fix that or not. Continued updates. Do you think you would purchase a new Model Y and sell your current one? We've actually considered that. As a matter of fact, our decisions video that we did, my wife and I both did, at the end of that video, what you don't see that's been edited out, we both looked at each other and we broke the news that we were selling our Tesla and getting a new one. We've since retracted that, but we have seriously considered that several times to get exactly what we wanted with the white interior, get the trailer hitch, get a paid exterior color, and get the Gemini wheels. We've seriously considered that many times. And who knows, maybe we will, but at this point we've held off, and we're just racking up so many miles, and it would be such a shame to do that to two cars in a row. But we'll see. I don't think we're going to sell and replace it anytime soon. Probably wait as these improvements continue to happen with range. We'll wait till there's a big one before we upgrade again. All drives from March. Yeah, mine's from March as well. And same motors as the Performance. If so, I don't think that these are the same motors as Performance. I've heard people say this time and time again. They are different part numbers. The internals, the body of it looks exactly the same, but the internal components are made to wear differently on the Performance model versus the long range all-wheel drive model. There is so much, like, this is as polarizing as politics is right now. There's people who say they're the same motor and people who say they're not, and neither one agrees or can come anywhere near each other. So I don't think that there's an opportunity to turn your long range all-wheel drive into a Performance. They are not the same motor, even though they appear to be. They are almost the same, but the internals are slightly different to allow for better wear on the Performance motors. Yeah, the noise reduction efforts. So yes and no, I agree. There's so much glass. The top half of the car is almost all glass, and it's hard to overcome that. Now, the other things that I gained from that, I think make it well worth the $30. Example, when you open the frunk, how much water do you see sitting in there? It doesn't do anything. It's not going to harm anything, but it doesn't happen anymore. But even more, if you ever clean the inside of your doors where it collects a lot of dirt, that doesn't happen anymore, and it doesn't collect water either. So there is a slight reduction, especially with like cars going the other way. That's where I notice it the most. So it's one of the pitches that's happening with specific noises that goes down. And also, somebody did make a good point. Decibels are not linear. So 2 decibels, like 78 and 80 decibels, is not the same difference in sound as 20 and 22. That's not the same difference. It's exponential. It's not linear. So it's probably more than it seems. Now, I don't know that it's fair to say that completely, because I bought a cheap decibel meter. It's not entirely scientific how I measured it. All I cared about was, could you measure a difference? And I think we did measure a difference, but it wasn't major. And it does not feel like a completely different car by any means. It's a slight reduction in noise, and it's a comfortable reduction in noise. I like the sound that the doors make now more than anything. They sound more solid, especially the tailgate. It really just, boom, it's done. But opening and closing the doors has a different sound to it, just a slight one. And I like that. And I really like the debris not coming into the threshold between the doors. So, but yeah, I was kind of hoping that it would be more than it was. But again, $30. I'm getting $30 of value out of that kit. That's about it. So the 2021 Model Y, did you get a 2021 Model Y? If you did, that's good news for you from a resale value, but it should be the same car overall. Eventually, they're going to update the center console to be the same as the Model 3, but we don't know when, and there's no speculation on time frame for that. So for whatever reason, it hasn't switched yet, but it will. But I don't know of anything else that's coming 2021. I'm sorry, the double pane windows, those are coming now. Yeah. So DIY PPF efforts, cheapskates unite 100%. Over $1,000 I saved by doing it myself. $1,000 freaking dollars. But it's labor intensive, so there's a reason why it's $1,000. But yeah, totally worth it. Even if you try it and you screw it up, you're out $240. Totally worth it. But yeah, thanks. I agree. I'm one of those guys that if I can save enough money, I'm going to try it myself. I'm going to at least try it. I'm glad I did. And that kit is still in the car and doing exactly what I intended to do. So it's protecting the front of that car, especially with these road trips we take. So yeah. Like DIY stuff too. Yeah. I'm going to get that window tint kit. I keep talking about it. I just need to order it. I'll order it this week, and then that'll be featured on the channel soon. No luck in getting a partnership to get you guys a discount code or anything like that, but pretty cheap. It's not that expensive. You're really not going to save a ton of money compared to paying a guy. It's about $120, $150 to have somebody do just the two windows. This kit is $33 plus $10 in shipping. But another way to save, I don't think it's going to be that hard to do. So we're going to give it a shot and see how that looks. Include a seal around the roof glass. No, they do offer a roof glass seal though. I don't suffer from whistle or serious wind noises. Some people do, in that gasket you're talking about that goes around the roof glass is specifically for that, and it is supposed to help additionally with wind noises. So it's something else that can be added very inexpensively to go in conjunction with the seal kit that we got. So I did not get HomeLink. Opinion on value is a waste of money. I would like to have the convenience, but I'm not going to spend $300 for that. Total waste of money. A lot of garage doors are Wi-Fi now, and I think long-term there's going to be Wi-Fi integration with the car. So eventually your car is going to be connected with your home, like everything else is connected, and it'll be able to interact with it on a Wi-Fi signal rather than having to have the module put in that can communicate with it. So I don't think it's a good value. $300 is kind of a waste. I wish I didn't have to reach in and grab the garage door opener, but I'm not going to spend $300 on that, unfortunately. But for those of you that do want it and do have it, again, that's just my opinion, and more power to you. If that adds value to your life and it's something like $300, then more power to you, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Hope that the 63,000 VINs have double pane windows. I don't know what VIN these switched over to, but again, I'm going to be getting the video done this week on the last quality update that we're going to do on this channel, which is good news because they are good. But I can't tell if they're double pane windows. I didn't see any 63,000 VINs. I think I saw a 60 and a 61. Everything was in between that. So low 60s on the cars that I saw for this last update. So 2021 last week. Congratulations. Side windows are double pane. Awesome. What was your VIN? What was your 2 digits? Were you a 63 or higher? Front windows 6 millimeters. Back windows are not double. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Kind of cheaped out there, didn't they? That's too bad. What was your VIN though, Craig, for people asking as a data point? Were you a 63 or higher? Gamer, yeah, I don't. What shout out do you want? I'm still confused. Send me a message. Send me a direct message either on Twitter or on YouTube. You can see my email and you can contact me. I'm missing something here. VIN is 63 plus. So there you go. Whoever asked the question about 63, Mark. So here's one confirmed VIN in the 63s. So that's what we're looking at. So there's a confirmed 63 for you. You just scream one time. I'm not going to scream at anybody. It's not nice. We don't do things that are not nice to people on this channel. You should know that by now. We're a family channel here. So heard about the 24 models. Or are they sending now anything except double pane? That's it. Just double pane windows. That's it so far. Nothing else. Even online, the center console still looks the same. So nothing additional on the 2021 Tesla Model Ys other than better quality. And this week on Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as usual, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So Honda Civic, I guess. Do you know what the #1 traded in car for a Tesla is? A Honda Civic. So let that. I'm sorry if that sounded rude. I didn't mean that to sound rude. Honda Civics are great cars, always have been, always will be, but they're not the future. And what Tesla is offering right now is the future. So I didn't mean that in a snarky way. I'm sorry. But yeah, I will not be owning a Honda Civic, but still a great car. Ignore the shout thanks, John. For now, they seem to update on the fly. Yeah, 100%. Thoughts on the Hummer? You know what? I almost did a video, but I didn't want to be a broken record with everybody else. So I'll say it here. The Hummer is a joke. Let me clarify what that means. I think it looks freaking awesome. It looks so cool. It will be coming to a Gold's Gym near you, no doubt about it. Every bodybuilder in the country is waiting to get their hands on it. Now, that said, I think it looks awesome, but $112,000, and you're going to get 350 miles range. I don't care how much horsepower it has. 1,000 is awesome. Great. Good job. You're going to go 350 miles. The Tesla Model 3 for 50 grand or less goes 353 miles. So it's going to go 350 miles, $112,000. And the best part, this is the punchline, to get the $80,000 truck, that's $80,000 truck, you have to wait 4 years, and it's only going to go 250 miles. In 4 years, a $80,000, 250 mile EV anything will not sell. What a joke. GM, I'm not trying to make fun or poke at GM. I'm just pissed off at GM because right now, Ford is the only domestic car manufacturer who's taking this thing seriously. It's such a freaking joke. And I'm talking about the OEM, the traditional guys, Chrysler, Ford, and GM. They continue to come out there and show that they don't get it and it's a joke to them. They cannot be serious. Like, it had to be April 1st. They should have waited till April 1st to launch the Hummer. It is a joke, and it's too bad because whoever designed it and the team that designed it, hats off to them, because in my opinion, I think they got the design right on. When you look at the Bronco as an example, super popular, sold out for however long, and they kind of went down that path, having a removable roof, all that stuff, totally in right now. So aesthetically, it's awesome, but they just don't get it. And at the same time, if you're going to try to sell a $112,000 car next year, you better be the biggest, best thing. I mean, like, look at Lucid Air, right? They have a huge price tag, but they're throwing shots across the bow at Tesla, and they're the only ones doing that. So they may be able to get the price that they're asking by providing value for that. In 4 years, I mean, what Tesla is going to be $80,000 other than like the what's the supercar? God, I always forget the name of it. Anyways, yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm upset that that's the kind of work our domestic guys are doing. It's a joke, and they don't care. So if they don't care, I don't care. So good for them. 3 months, 26 cents a kilowatt hour here in Massachusetts. Need cheaper supercharging. I agree. Supercharging is expensive. It's still cheaper than gas, but that's the price you pay, and people are willing to pay, especially traveling across the country. I'm happy to pay those prices if it means we can continue to expand in a meaningful way the supercharging network to continue to be more viable to take road trips quicker, faster, and more conveniently. So it is a little bit high, but the only time you should have to use a supercharger is when you're traveling, unless you don't have charging at home, in which case you need to figure that out, because that's really where you can save a ton of money if you can figure out home charging. I think the Rivian is a beautiful truck. It just doesn't have the charging infrastructure. You're not going to be able to easily or reasonably travel across the country in the Rivian, at least right now. So it's too bad, because I think it's the best looking EV truck that's coming is the Rivian. I think it looks spectacular. Same to be said about the SUV version as well. I think they look awesome. Speaking of Ford, I've seen some Mach-E's around. Yeah, I haven't seen one yet, and I want to get my hands on one. I'm excited to see how it looks in execution. I think that they've got reasonably the right specs on paper, from price range, things like that. I think they're really close, especially when you're talking about that compared to Model Y. So yeah, and I agree. So the Cybertruck will come before the Hummer. The Hummer is going to be such a small market. The only Hummers that are going to sell are the first batch, and it's going to be just because, look, I have the Hummer. That's the only Hummers that are going to sell. In 4 years, they won't be selling Hummers anymore, at least how it looks right now. So it's too bad. But anyways, you either adapt or die, and it looks like they're making their decision more and more concrete every day. Just maybe in the future, think about it. Yeah, and that's okay. Some people don't trust Teslas yet, and it's a big jump. We're not talking about going from an iPhone 10 to an iPhone 12. We're talking about going from a Motorola to an iPhone. It's a big, big jump, and more access needs to happen so people can experience it and gain that trust. But totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, how bad they'll mock up the EV Jeep. I know it's too bad too, because the Jeep could be so awesome. An EV Jeep, it sounds cool, and I think it's a no-brainer. They have to do it, but I'm with you. It's going to be another thing like 250 miles of range or something like that, and it's going to be 80 grand. Jeeps are expensive right now anyway, so I can only imagine what it's going to cost for Chrysler to try to acquire batteries and put them in a Chrysler anything. So yeah, on the VW ID4, I'm excited to see it. I'm disappointed in range. Kind of the same. I'm in the same position as I am on the Volvos. I think they look good. I think they did a good job designing the things, but range is kind of a problem, and that's too bad. But I am excited to check out the ID4. I'm deep down inside, I love Volkswagens, and I think that I'm excited to get my hands on one eventually and see it in person. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I really enjoy that you enjoy them. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. So yeah, Volkswagen ID4, I'm excited to see it. Volkswagen's always had a design that's been appealing to me, much like Volvo as well. I do not think that this subscription model, unfortunately, is coming soon. I really thought it was coming in 2020. I don't think it's going to happen now. I think it's going to take, because Elon Musk sent a tweet out that made it pretty clear it was going to be later in 2021 when they were going to do it. Bumping full self-driving to 10 grand, I really think is going to have a step hit on demand for full self-driving, and it's going to cost them financially. And once it costs them enough, that's when they're going to go ahead and roll out either the subscription model or a full self-driving light, like enhanced autopilot or some sort of a la carte. I doubt they'll do a la carte, but they'll offer a cheaper option after they've dried up what's left of people willing to spend $10,000 for full self-driving. So there will be a nice little push after this beta program is over. And then I really, truly believe they're going to struggle to sell full self-driving at anything comparable to what they've done in the last year after that initial push. So that'll help to make that happen. Oh my gosh, Paul, you're paying 24 cents a kilowatt hour at home? Jeez, where do you live? Do you live in like California? It's pretty expensive, I've heard, like in LA County. Oof. We're not even that great, but we're at 12 cents, 12 or 13 cents. We're right at like national average for electricity here. And it's about $6 to charge a Tesla Model Y full from zero here. So it's very inexpensive, but 24 cents, my God. 12 cents, but another 12 for delivery. I don't get that. Another 12 cents for delivery. Wait, so you're in Massachusetts, so it's 12 cents a kilowatt hour, but another 12 for delivery. What does that mean? I'm unfamiliar with that. Does that mean somebody has to come out, or they're charging you like a tax to deliver the electricity through the infrastructure? Is that just a tax? Man, that's crazy. 24 cents. Whew. Tour the Chevy EV factory in Michigan and meet the team behind the Bolt, rooting for them, but good luck competing with Elon. Totally agree, John. 100%. That is the thing. Like that's why I get kind of passionate about it. It pisses me off because you're rooting for them, and it's unacceptable. It's an American company. Come on. Fortunately, Tesla's an American company, and they are paving the way for the future of the automotive industry. But the traditional American companies can't get their together. So I'm with you. I'm rooting for them too. The Bolt could be so much better. It's just a design issue. And then previously it was fast charging. You were limited on how fast you could charge the thing. So I think they've addressed that with the new one, and they've expanded range a little bit. I think that the Bolt is one of the better options available today. Honestly, in my opinion, the design could use some work, but it's an Asian designed car, and sometimes that can be an issue here with the aesthetics of the car, which is, in my opinion, the biggest struggle. That and the fast charging, which is now addressed. So should be able to tell. Yes, your advisor should be able to tell you. Chances are, if you haven't received your VIN yet, 99.9% you have a 2021. I wouldn't even worry about it. It would be very, very, very rare case that you wouldn't have a 2021 that you're going to be taking delivery of. So it's not even something I would think about at this point. So if you're concerned about getting a 2021, I'd say don't worry about it, because you're going to get a 2021. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so 12. So that's for infrastructure. That's just, whew, man, I've never heard of such a thing. So basically you have 100% tax on your electricity, which is crazy. It went up $100 a month. So not, it is 100. It went up 100. Oh my God. So $100 a month to drive 2,000 miles. But what is that in gas at 25 miles or whatever you replace the car with? I'm sure it's a lot more, of course, but still, yeah, man, that's a lot. We would struggle to spend $100, and we do about 2,000 miles a month as well. If we charged exclusively at home, I think it was $40 to $50 a month in electricity. So your math sounds about right as well. And that was coming from $240 a month in gas. So substantially less than gas. So yeah, 13 cents in Denver. Yeah, that's the national average. So 13 cents is good. But there is 6 cent states too. So a lot of coal in parts of this country still, and a lot cheaper. If I could do it again, I'd get the Geminis and either buy induction takeoffs from somebody to have 2 sets, or I would buy Martian wheels. That's what I would do. if I could do it over again. And it's not a consideration of range because I haven't been able to confirm that. If I could get my hands on a set of Geminis, I would totally test it. But I can't get my hands on any Geminis to test range difference. But I mean, don't spend the $2,000 and have one set of wheels. Spend $2,500 and have two sets of wheels. It makes a lot more sense in my mind. So then you've got a winter set and you've got a summer set. Yeah, full self-driving supposed to buy at 10. I would not. I don't know. Again, just my opinion. I wouldn't be buying full self-driving for 10K. But we did submit our order for Cybertruck for 8K with full self-driving. So, anyways, 30 apps. I do not have any third-party apps, but I've been thinking about it to help monitor these things that I seem to care about because I'm always looking at them almost on a daily basis. So I am considering some paid apps that help monitor this stuff and then give me access to more data that I don't currently have. I'd be most interested in understanding efficiency over time and battery capacity and its efficiency over time and how the health of that is holding up. So something I might be considering in the near future. So 6 different EVs for 7 years. Not one penny on maintenance, which is pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, I agree. EV is simply less expensive, period. End of day. I don't care how much more expensive it costs to replace tires. You are not going to touch anywhere near the cost of a gas car. I hope enhanced autopilot comes back. I really think it is because I think at $10,000, like I've been saying for the last probably 20 minutes, and I'm sorry, I think that they're going to have an issue selling full self-driving. And a few months after the first push, people going ahead and pulling the trigger on full self-driving. So enhanced autopilot, I believe, will come back as an option. Hopefully it's not $5,000 though. Hopefully it's at $4,000 again. So yeah, Tesla Lab is one of them that I'm looking at. So anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. This was a rather long live stream this evening, but I really appreciate the questions and I love interacting with you guys and sharing this experience with you. You guys all mean so much to me. I appreciate everything that all of you represent. This channel is not possible without you guys, and we are so close to 10,000. Again, we're going to celebrate with some big giveaways once we hit 10,000, and I'm super excited to give back to all of you who have given us so much. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, when I say we, my wife, my family, and I, we appreciate you and looking forward to continuing this journey with you. And thanks so much for joining us this evening for a very long live stream. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you guys all so much, and we will catch you next time.